It's that time of year, summer solstice, longest day of the year. Pretty quiet day today right now. So our sun rose this morning at 5:22 a.m. and it's scheduled to set at 9:02 p.m. It's 15 hours and 40 minutes. Fortunately, every day from here on in is going to get a little bit shorter, but quite a pleasant day. Figured it'd just be a good time just to do a little bit of a walkthrough. This weekend we had some pretty extreme weather. I don't know if we broke the record for the coldest temperatures, but I know we were flirting with it. I haven't heard. But we had a very strong system move in, and it resulted in quite cold weather, thunderstorms, rain, not a lot of rain, maybe a quarter inch. But what we did have, I'm trying to think, it might have been on Sunday, is we had a pretty intense hailstorm. I would call it a torrential downpour of hail for at least 10 minutes. And it resulted in quite a bit of damage to the plants, because that type of hail is quite damaging, and there's a lot of new tender growth. It wasn't very large hail, smaller than a pea, but there was so much that it actually looked like winter. It looked like it had snowed, and it took 24 hours for it to all melt. After that storm moved in, our temperature dropped to 48 degrees, which is just below 10 Celsius. So that is very cold for this time of year. So we were pretty much hiding inside the house. I had a migraine, which wasn't fun from the pressure of the system. Let's have a look around here today. Things are growing pretty well, filling in. Keeping the grass alive is a challenge as always, because aside from this rain, that was the only little bit of rain we've had since I think maybe sometime in May, first week. But a lot of my trackies that took snow, that were bent from the snow, are really starting to fill back in, putting out a lot of new fronds. So the crowns are starting to look more normal, and I expect that will continue. This bit of rain, it was good because it came very slowly. There was a lot of drizzle, and because of that, it soaked in very well. See, my red banana's doing okay. Let's have a look here. Oh yeah, you can see the hail damage. If you look closely, you'll see the white spots. The sad thing is, you look at my tetrapanics, you can see the holes everywhere. Now, the good thing is this will continue to grow. These leaves will be damaged, but the new ones will look good. You can even see where the hail's knocked off some of the fuzz. And then there is spotting that's almost like, I guess you could say it's almost like bruising, and there's a lot of holes. The hostas took quite a bit of damage, so all those white spots, it's all from the hail. The banana, I mean, they're looking kind of sad, but they're looking even worse. The southern magnolias, you can see the holes in all the new leaves where they've been ripped and torn. Kind of a shame. I have a number of these trees. It's very unusual to get hail this time of year. We tend to get it in the early spring, I guess you would say. Early spring, maybe late spring. The Fatsias, oh yeah, I don't know if it's showing up, but the brown spotting that you're seeing, that is not normal. More white spots all over the hostas, so not the best, but it is what it is. Big Schefflera is growing significantly. The new area that I've developed has started to move. The salvias and the cannas are starting to grow, so hopefully that will fill in soon. Bummed me out, my pawpaws took a lot of damage too. Holes ripped in their leaves. Even this loquat has some holes. My big leaf magnolia, it's even ripped and torn some of the leaves. Look at this. You know, there's no coming back from that. And this thing tends to put out a really big amount of growth in the spring, and then it just slowly grows over summer. So it won't put out too many more leaves. Quite a bit of damage. We still got some blooms coming out. And my poor pawpaws. That's all hail. It's everywhere on them. So that bums me out. You know, I've had some late hail before, but not quite this late. As far as the pawpaws, we had just a ton of flowers. And I hand pollinated and I saw insects, and I don't see any fruit anywhere. Last year we had fruit at this time that held on for quite a while, so a little disappointing. The good news is the raspberries are filling in nicely. They are literally everywhere, and they're huge this year. There's one of the phormiums I left. This was one of my big purple ones. You can see it's coming back quite nicely now. Well over a couple feet tall, so by summer it should be fairly impressive. Bamboo has gone wild as normal. I'm gonna have to get in here and trim some of this off. Get these poor little rice paper plants. That is all hail damage. Isn't that something? Rhododendrons seem to handle it pretty well. Even the big leaf rhodo, although everything back here is more protected. This is kind of like my only bit of shade that I have going on in my yard. So let's walk. I mean, like, look at these holes. They look worse at the top. The leaves at the top are a lot worse. Oh, even this is a gumi. It has holes in its leaves too, and these are quite thick leaves. See, the bamboo this year is quite dense. The Black Mondo is flowering all over the place, so hopefully that will spread around a bit. So let's go back down this way. You may see some of my friends. I have some resident birds that follow me around that live in my yard. Quite a nice day. Very mild this year. Mild as in, there goes a robin. Mild as in, we've been in the mid 70s, low 80s, so quite pleasant, I guess you could say. The Washingtonia robusta, get a little rough around the edges, at least on the old stuff, but coming along very well. And that's 2 new spears coming out, and this one's opening, so this will look great. In another month or so, I'm going to trim these dead fronds back. And the eucalyptus, the neglecta especially, not sure how well this is showing up on the camera, but it has just erupted in growth. Really beautiful colors. This one's very purple. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, there's some newer, it's like a purple with a bit of red. The new growth is really quite nice. And I was out here at lunch. I came out for a few minutes. I could smell it. The breeze was just wafting it over, so such a fantastic tree. All the little ferns in, well, I guess they weren't little, big ferns, they're all starting to make a comeback. Giant Pacific, giant chain fern is growing. A little tough to see there, but the fuchsias, they were killed to the ground, but they're about 4 feet tall, going to start blooming soon. Really filled in a lot this year, especially this area. It's always been a problem area, but not this year. My hybrid feather palms. So that is just a general walk around Queen Palm. You know, they don't mind the hail. Enjoying the longest day of the year. And I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the beginning of summer.